Hey guys, Mick from Mick's Aussie Garden back with you again. Been a little while since I've done a vid, so we'll pop one out now. Before I get too far into it, normally at the end of the video I'll ask you to comment, like and subscribe. Love the comments. Been getting a few, which is really good, but I also know that a lot of people don't get to the end of the video, so thought I'd throw it in here. Anyway, let's have a quick squiz around. Okay, context, starting point, always a compost, just so you know where I am. And we're looking around at the garden beds. Not a lot growing, is there? No, I've been a little bit slack over the summer, just too bloody hot to be honest. But I have had a bit of a win. I've had some losses. Let me just duck around and show you one of my losses. The orange tree turned its toes up. Over about 3 weeks it just up and died. So it is now resting in peace in one of my garden beds, just as a bit of a fill. As I say, it'll be a little bit slack, but I've had a win in that those who have been following will know that the dirt up here is pretty ordinary and it's been pretty hard to get any good dirt. But I had a win with the local sand and screenings guy. He had a pile of compost, about 6 cubic metres of compost dropped off there. I don't think he even really knows where it came from, but I went up and I saw him and I said, look, can you do me a favour? Can you do me a 2-to-1 mix with the compost and some coarse sand and drop me some in? So I've managed to top some of my beds up. I've got about 6 cubic metres I reckon delivered so far, and I'm probably going to need another 3 or 4 just to top these last couple of beds up, just to give you an idea of what I'm battling. This bed's probably a bad indication, but this one here where I had the orange tree, you can see how much it sunk. That was up to the top last year, and I had beetroot and carrots growing in it last year. So you can see how much the organic material has sunk. So hopefully with the compost and the sand mix, I'm sure it will sink a little bit, but hopefully not that much. You'll see on some of these beds, I haven't finished topping them up yet. I've put a little bit of straw. It is like only an inch or so, maybe a couple of inches at best, just to try and retain a bit of moisture. And the beds that I've actually planted, I've got some seed in this one. I've got onions, beetroot, carrots, and some peas and beans on the ends. Again, I put a smattering of straw over the top, one to help retain a little bit of moisture, but the other, the main reason is to keep the cats off it. The cats love to get in and dig the dirt, put a little bit of straw on, and they don't seem to like digging the straw so much. This one here, I put some seedlings. They've, strange enough, they've turned their toes up, and we haven't really had warm weather, but I do have a couple up the top there. I had some Brussels sprouts and cauliflower in here, but they're not looking fantastic, so that might be a replacement job. But anyway, so that's where we are. I've got 5 out of 14 beds, so 6 out of 14 beds topped up, which leaves me 8 to go. Now the 8 are the smaller ones, so I'm hoping maybe another 3 cubic metres of the mix will do that for me. While we've got you, let's have a bit more of a look around. I've done no more with the grape tunnel, or my garden tunnel, but you will see the grape is growing over this very nicely. Now it'll drop its leaves over the next month or so, which will give me the opportunity to get in and give it a good prune and direct it where I want over the top of this arch. I'm going to make some changes to this arch. I've got 2 more panels to go to finish it, but let me just back up a little bit if I don't fall A over T. This small arch here with the plastic flowers on it is about a metre or so short of the garden arch. So I'm going to extend the garden arch, and I have to work it exactly how, but I'm going to incorporate this smaller tunnel, so it'll be like an entrance to the garden arch. That's to come. A bit excited, finally got a passion fruit growing. This is my 3rd attempt at getting a passion fruit growing. It's going really well up over the top of this little arch. So hopefully next year I'll get some fruit off that. What else have I done here? Raspberries are finally starting to kick on. They've struggled a bit over the last year or 2, but I'm hoping that they will kick on nicely now. from here on anyway. So I am getting a few raspberries. I was getting a few, a little bit of fruit of it, but not enough to write home about, just while I'm here, the apple trees, absolutely chock-a-block. I should have thinned them, I didn't. And you can see on the ground there, all the apples, the reds over there, the yellows over here, which doesn't bother me. I mean, they'll rot into the ground. They're just compost on the ground, but I honestly wouldn't have eaten that many apples anyway, but it would have been nice to get some bigger ones. So once these drop their leaves again, I'll get a prune. This one here, you can probably see it's struggled a bit. The branches are hanging fairly low. That was just sheerly from the weight of the fruit. So once it's dropped its leaves, I'll have a bit of a prune and give it a bit of a shape, and we'll see how we go for next year. Along here I had lavender planted. Now I planted 24 plants. I went away over Christmas. Unfortunately for a month they struggled a bit. 10 of them turned their toes up. So I've still got about 14 in here, and once the weather continues to cool off a bit, I'll get some more and I'll just replace the ones. I'll get another 24 because that's how I order them, 2 dozen. And I'll replace the 10 that I lost here. But let me just spin you around. I'll try and do this slowly so you don't get seasick. Along the pond here, if you remember I had the fish pond here, I want to plant some along the front of the pond, so I reckon the other 14 will go in nicely there. While I'm here, check that out. I had been trying to keep it down to one trunk, the old banana, but I tell you, I am absolutely wrapped the way it's looking now. It looks really tropical, which is good for down the coast on South Australia. But what I'm more excited about, if I can get in to show you, is bananas. I've got 2 bunches this year. They're not big bunches, but they are nonetheless bunches of banana growing in South Australia. Hours drive from the coast, so I'm quite happy with that. Now I haven't got a lot to show you, I don't think, out the back. If I have more I'll come back and let you know, but I am just taking you for a bit of a walk through the carport out the front, because I had a bit of a mishap. I had a leak in the mains, right in the middle of the driveway, and from the meter, for the water meter to the house. Now I wasn't exactly sure where the water line ran. I thought it ran from the meter to the corner of this shed, and then around the back of the shed into the house. So I thought, rather than fix that leak, because I knew it was a crappy little line anyway, I thought I'd dig a trench and put a 25mm blue line in, which I did. I only had to connect it up to the corner of the shed here because I already had blue line from there. So I dug the trench, dropped the blue line in, turned the water on, no water at the house. Damn. So I did a little bit more investigation, and I ended up running another line from the meter direct to the house. Comes in just to the right of the aircon unit, but the connection for the house is right up the other end of the house. What we found out, or what we realised, was this used to be 2 blocks, the house block and the shed block. Shed's right behind me here, and the house had its own meter out the front, and when they combined the 2 blocks they did away with the house meter and just ran the water from this meter here all the way along the front fence to the other end of the house, under the house and up into the bathroom. So I've had to run blue line all the way under the house and connect it in up under the bathroom. Doesn't sound bad. I was without water for 4 days, had to go to a friend's place for showers, and the house isn't overly close to the ground, but I'm getting on in years, and I've got to be honest, I've got a bit of a belly, and it was a bit of a struggle getting under there, but managed it. So you'll see the driveway looks a little bit ordinary. Trenches, I end up with 2 trenches across the driveway, a lot of other little test holes just to see where the pipes are going, and you'll see that end of the driveway is just all dirt. I mean, it'll settle down with a bit of rain and all that, but I'd like to get a bit more gravel on it now, but we'll wait and see. Okay, nothing else out the front, so let's duck back around the back here. And I do have a little bit of exciting news though. As of this week, I am officially an old age pensioner. That wouldn't normally excite people, so you can see me, the good looking fella here. That wouldn't normally excite people, but it does help my finances a little bit. So hopefully over the next couple of months I can continue with some of these projects I've started where I just ran out of money. So I can finish my garden arch, do a few other little projects that I just haven't been able to do. Pay for this dirt I've been getting, because that's on the tick at the moment. So we'll get all of that out the way. We have had a little bit of rain over the last month or so. Not sort of great heaps, but enough to fill the tank. So the big water tank there is full. A little black one here, not so. It's still got a couple of inches in the bottom, stop it blowing away in the wind, but that's about it. But that's a good start. So hopefully if we get, look, if we got another 20 mil, that would probably fill that little black one. So I'd be happy with that. Now this one's for Sid. Sid's a new subscriber. Somebody I've just subscribed to. He's just done a video on his compost bins, 3 bays. It's exactly what I'm doing. So there's a bit of rubbish in front of it at the moment. That's my working bay. That's where the rubbish goes. All, not the rubbish, the scraps. It breaks down there over here. It takes a long time here because there's just no moisture. So it does take a long time to break down. Gets turned over into this bin and continues, and then when I'm ready it gets turned over into this bin and sieved through that mesh I've got on top. So I'll sieve the lumps out. Any lumps go back into the first bin, so I'm left with a reasonably nice friable sort of stuff in the compost bin. Not at the moment, it's full of leaves and stuff. Been a while since it's seen any compost. Other than that, everything else is kicking along. The fruit trees, they'll again start dropping their leaves soon. That's a cherry. I don't know if you remember the cherry from last year. That thing now is probably 3 metres high. It struggled a bit. It's taken off like the clappers. The peach tree, it's actually dwarfed the peach tree, and the peach tree was the one that really took off. But I got, I would say probably a couple of 100 peaches off that this year. Again, I didn't thin them. I went away over Christmas, and I mean, silly, I should have thinned them. They were lovely peaches. They were great peaches, just a little bit on the small side. So next year, I mean, it'll get a prune once it drops its leaves, and next year I'll make sure I thin the peaches out. Orange tree, you can see the oranges are still there. I'll just let them break down where they are. I'm not that fussed. Lemon tree has gone mad. The nectarine was another one. Had a lot of nectarines on it. I didn't thin them, and I've got to be honest, by the time I came back from Christmas, most of them had dropped on the ground. So look, they're lovely nectarines as well. They're all freestone, but I really didn't get a lot of nectarines to eat because I was away for a month. Mandarins, you can probably see the mandarins growing on there now. That is going to give me a good crop next season. It's going the clappers. Apricot next to it. So apricot was the same as the nectarine. I was away when it was in fruit, and by the time I got back, 99% of them were laying on the ground. And they're lovely apricots too. And then we go around to the other 2 apples. The red apple, as I say, there's a lot of them on the ground. They will just, look, I'm just going to let them rot. I did come in and pick a heap of reds yesterday. I'm going to try a couple of apple pies. So it's looking good. I'm actually really happy. I gave that a good prune of the last 2 years. I'm really happy with the shape of that. The yellow one, because of the weight of the apples, has gone back to looking the way it did before I pruned them, more of a bush than a tree. So, but it'll get another fairly heavy prune, I'd say, this year. Just real quickly, so I'm just going to swing you around and walk you out the front again, but down the other side. The shed of rhubarb's kicking. It's looking really good. I reckon there might be an apple and rhubarb pie in amongst those pies. Be a shame to have it there and not use it, wouldn't it? Now, I'm trying to plant things that a lot of people don't plant in the area. One of the things was tamarillos. I've had a couple of goes at tamarillos. People might also know them as tree tomatoes. Now these here, and I've picked a heap, but you can see the fruit on them. Oh, let's get the leaf out of the way. If you haven't tried tamarillos, they're only a short-living plant. They live about 8 to 10 years. They're an acquired taste. If you can get a hold of some, try them. If you get them when they're still a little bit green, they can be a little bit tart. As I say, it's an acquired taste. If you let them ripen properly, and these are, I thought I bought red ones, but these look more like the orange ones. But if you let them ripen properly, they actually do have a little bit of a tomato taste. Like I said, it's an acquired taste, but I've tried, this is a third attempt at growing these, so I'm really happy with the way they're looking now. I think they're here to stay. I'll be getting, and I've got a lot of fruit of them, and this is their first fruiting year, so it's only going to get better from here. They're enormous fruiters. So tamarillos, or tree tomatoes, give them a go. Anyway, as Peter Cundall, there you go, there's one for the oldies. There's Peter Cundall used to say, that's your lot for the day. As I said earlier, comment, subscribe, like the video. Every bit helps, especially the comments. I really appreciate the comments. I get a lot of ideas from the comments. If you can do that for me, that would be fantastic, and I shall see you guys on the next one. Cheers.